U92, U92SLC.com. I'm in our sister station, Bob FM's studio today, and I got a special guest, somebody that is came into my life, my spiritual guide coach, somebody that I'm really happy to have on my team, Shelby Nye.
Hello, hello. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here.
It's an interesting day today.
It is.
Because you've been doing a lot of my friends' card readings, right?
I have, yes, so many.
And I've kind of just took the back burner.
You have. You haven't really said a whole lot during those readings.
So today is my lucky day.
It is.
Because I get my reading. But before we jump into the reading, Shelby, tell me a little bit about yourself. What are you? What do you do?
Oh my gosh, that's such a loaded question. I think for me, so my name is Shelby. I'm 23, a Utah native. I love it here on some days. I hate it here on other days.
Relatable.
Yeah, absolutely. But I have, I'm what you call a alternative spiritual coach. Or some people call me a witch. I mean, it just depends on what label you want to give me. But I love all things spirituality, all things alternative medicine, all things holistic, all things emotional health, anything that has to do with spirituality as a whole or any of that is absolutely my passion. And so I've been doing that for going on 7 years now. Have I just been in this deep dive of just learning as much as I can. And so now, fast forward, I get to be the coach. I get to be the guide. I get to be the people that help everyone else kind of wake up to these kinds of things and dive into it. And it's been literally the best blessing in my life to ever happen.
And it's scary, like when in Western culture, or maybe the world in general, when you hear the word witch or holistic
Yeah.
or herbal, like it's like, oh, red flag is scary.
Absolutely.
But you have changed a lot of people's minds, I think. Me being one of them, because I was very naive and ignorant to the word witch, because I instantly thought devil.
Yep, most people do.
And but it's not that. You've showed me that this is a very beautiful thing. This is something very impactful spiritually. I felt the energy in all these other readings that I've been a part of. So I'm excited to do it now with you.
Yeah, I mean, I really think it's going to be an adventure. I think the energy is just impeccable. Being able to sit in a room for a card reading, and even more so being able to receive a card reading, even for myself, like I read for myself, but getting it from somebody else, the energy is just so impactful. And like I was saying before we started, you picked a great day because tomorrow is the longest lunar eclipse that we have had in over 580 years. So this is a big energy of change, a big energy of permanent change, all of these amazing life blessings coming in, and you're going to get the whole rundown and the whole spiel right now.
And something that you've always told me is that my spiritual team, my guardian angels, if you will, are the ones that are going through these cards and really giving the messages. Some that maybe I've ignored in the past, some that maybe they're just trying to give me now. But this, as much as some of these things might sound hard, it's how I take them, right? It's something that you've always told me is that, like, they're going to tell you, but if you consider it bad, that's your thoughts. But if you embrace it and it's good, then that's kind of what it is, right?
Exactly. Essentially, so it is your spiritual team. That's what I call them. And it's basically just this kind of a council that sits in the ethers, and it's like your higher self, so that part of you that couldn't be compressed into your body, that all-knowing, all-encompassing piece of you who's here to guide you through your purpose in life. So you have your higher self, your guardian angels, your spirit guides, some of them who have been with you your entire life, some of whom will come and go during specific areas of your life. So your team's kind of always switching up. But the best thing for me to remember is just the fact that you always have a team. You're never alone on this journey. You're never alone in this life. You have a whole team of people, of entities, of energies that are so pure and so here for your highest good, that are supporting you every step of the way. And I think that is probably one of the most comforting thoughts that I have. in terms of anything. It really gives me so much confidence. It helps me really just walk through life with a sense of peace. But on top of that, again, also remembering that everything really is neutral. Nothing in this world is good or bad. Everything is neutral until you decide to give it meaning. And I've really contemplated like this energy of perspective a lot lately, and how perspective is huge in everything. Your mindset is so huge in everything, because your thoughts create your reality. You are the creator of your reality. You get to decide every day when you wake up what reality you're going to live in, and whether or not that's going to be a reality where you have to go to work and you have to spend 8 hours at this place that you can't stand to spend 5 minutes in, and then you have to go home and you have to entertain your family, and then you have to go to sleep, and you watch these TV shows to like numb out this unhappiness that you feel with your life. Or you can wake up and choose a different reality where you get to go to work and earn the money that you have so that you can live as comfortably as you get to, and you get to spend that time with your family that not everybody gets to spend with theirs, and you get to sleep on a mattress, and you get to go to bed, and you get to have these moments where you are so appreciative of your life because of the reality that you choose to live in. And I think that is just the icing on the cake.
Yeah. See why I got her on the team, guys? see why she's my spiritual coach? Okay. So we got our cards. We got 72 cards in the deck.
72 in a tarot deck, and then Oracle kind of varies.
And all of these cards have different meanings within them. There's so much on each card. The message could be the way that somebody's facing, the fire, the embers, how many light spots there are. So much going on these, and you can get more information and things like that on your website, correct?
Yep, absolutely, at shelbynyeco.com, and it's Nye like Bill Nye, NYE, and everything should be there.
You gotta do something cool for New Year's Eve, like
I know,
NYE,
like, yeah. I think we'll be in Vegas this year, but maybe next year.
There you go. All right, so we jump into it.
Yeah, let's just jump into it. So what I start with every time when I'm doing one of my coaching sessions or my readings, and you heard me do this last time, is to just go ahead and take 3 deep breaths.
Over here spilling soda, sorry.
And then just go ahead and invite your angels and your spirit guides to sit here with you and give you the guidance that you need for your highest and greatest good. And I will do the same with mine, and that's how we actually will connect. Awesome. Now I want to know 3 things that you're grateful for.
I'm so grateful for my family. I'm so grateful for great supporting members in my life. And I'm very grateful just to have the thought of being able to choose what, like you mentioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
Choose the day that I want to have. What's my reality today? I'm very grateful for that.
Absolutely. That's so powerful, I think. And for mine, because this is how I start, all of everything is just getting us into this energy and this vibration of gratitude, because it's such a high vibration. It's one of the best feelings that you can feel in life, is just being so utterly grateful. And I think one of mine definitely is just being able to feel the feeling of gratitude, being able to like understand that feeling and just be like, wow, life is so exciting, and being able to choose again to look at life through new eyes, almost like somebody who hasn't seen this world before, and finding gratitude for like the hot water that comes out of our pipes and like all of those types of things. I love that we're able to do that. I'm super grateful for the opportunities that I have been given recently. There have been so many that have been coming into my life, so many people that I've had just the amazing chance to meet in ways that I would have never anticipated, ways that I would have never expected. And I call these people the friends I haven't met yet. And every single year I just get more of them, and I find more of them, and that I think is another amazing gratitude that I'm grateful for. And I think my last one is definitely my amazing coworkers that definitely have the flexibility to give these opportunities to me and to just make sure that they're possible. Because if I wasn't working down here, it probably wouldn't have lined up as well.
Yeah.
So
You're
those are mine.
A block away.
Yeah, literally.
Nice.
It was awesome. All right. Are we ready?
Let's do it.
Now I want to know, do you have a specific question in mind?
I don't a specific question that I would like to ask my team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am am and this might be too broad, but am I on the right path? Am I going the right direction?
So that's a good start.
Okay.
Now the am I's are definitely yes or no questions. They won't give you yes or no questions. So I can ask for you what the right path might look like for you, or
How can I how can I be better on this path?
yeah, absolutely, we can do that. How can you further walk your purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. All right, well, let's see what they have to say. How can Dre better walk his purpose?
Right now, Shelby's shuffling the tarot cards, and they're falling out. This is my team spitting out the exact messages that they want to tell me. What is that? That looks super intimidating.
The Emperor card, that's a really good sign, actually.
Oh my heart just dropped. The Emperor card just jumped out.
First card, actually.
He
that
looks
came
like
out for
low
you.
key from Marvel.
He kind of does. That's funny. I've never noticed that before. All right. So, actually,
goodness.
this is really good. Good. Okay, so we have the Emperor card. We have your Knight of Swords. We have the Hanging Man. We have the Ten of Coins, the King of Swords, and the Two of Cups. So all of this is really good. Now just to double check on this Emperor card, because it can mean multiple different things, and that's the thing about tarot. And what I always tell people is tarot is about 25% the meanings of the cards, 25% symbolism, 25% all of that, but about 75% the intuition of the interpreter and how strong your intuition is. And so that's why I love these, because they really just like resonate with my soul. But the Emperor is very much, I mean, when you look at an emperor, when you think of like an emperor, what energy do you think of?
Power.
Power, exactly. Power, authority, ambition, drive. And you're a Cancer, right?
Yeah.
Do you know the rest of your birth chart?
I do not.
I'll have to do it for you, because I'm curious as to what your moon sign is and what the rest of everything is and where your Mars is, because Mars is the planet that represents drive and ambition and conflict and all of these different things. Mars also rules Aries. Aries is what rules the Emperor cards. So curious as to where your Mars placement is. However, this looks like you definitely in a position of authority, a position of power, and I want to say a position of comfortability. Where you're at right now, you're very comfortable. You're very settled, and you're at peace with where you are. You're just very comfortable is what I'm getting. And the Knight of Swords represents swift messages or swift changes. And we have the Knight of Swords, so the horse and the knight are both looking towards the Emperor, which if you were standing in my position, the Emperor would be looking directly at you. So this is messages that are going to come through for you very soon, very quickly, that are going to, I get the message like question your authority almost. They're going to question your authority, but not in a bad way. They're going to present challenges for you that are opportunities to grow. They're going to give you a chance to, I keep seeing roots. So this is like a chance to really root into who you are, who you were meant to be, and a chance to really dive into the depths of like who Dre is, who Dre came here to be, like who the higher self version of Dre wanted you to be. I definitely see a connection, a stronger connection, and a more deliberate and intentful, I don't know if that's a word, intentful connection with your higher self, where you are communicating on a regular basis and not just like, hey, higher self, I hope you're having a good day today. Like, it's like a deliberate, okay, this is the question I have. What is your answer for me? And you guys will be able to communicate specifically without the cards, because the cards essentially are just a tool to help bring in messages that might be muddled or things that you're not able to see, which is why they're so beneficial for so many people in general, because a lot of people haven't attuned themselves to be able to recognize the messages when they come in and to recognize their intuitive hits. And I feel like that is what's coming for you, is you're coming into an era of your life where, as we have the Hanged Man here, which represents a change of perspective, you're going to start looking at things a little bit differently. You're going to start seeing the world a little bit differently. You're going to start seeing kind of your life differently. And the beliefs that you've had for a lot of your life, I want to say, like, the beliefs, a lot of us have beliefs that we didn't actually choose to believe, but we were told to believe them, and we've just kind of kept them and haven't done anything with them, and they kind of wreak havoc on our life if you don't weed out that, like, subconscious belief garden, because your beliefs are what subconsciously will manifest your reality. And as you're starting to see this, like, change in perspective, you're going to start asking yourself, like, there's going to be this self-awareness that will kind of wash over you, and you're going to be like, okay, why perhaps do I get up in the morning every day and I feel like crap getting up? Like, I don't want to roll out of bed. Why am I so unexcited to get up for life? Or, like, specific behavioral patterns that you have, you'll start to notice and be like, okay, well, why do I think like this? Why do I want to know like this? Like, why do I always react this exact same way in this, like, specific situation whenever this trigger comes up? And you're going to kind of start realizing where that is rooted in, which typically is going to be your childhood or your young adult life, where somebody made you feel a certain way, or somebody told you something and you just were like, oh, that's how the world is. And then you operated on that belief for essentially up until now, up until you decide to get rid of it. And the Emperor is really, I feel like it's this authority, this power that's saying, no more of that. We're not doing that anymore. This is a new mindset that's coming in, a new perspective, a new energy of I am limitless. And that is a message that's actually been coming through for me really, really, really heavy the last 7 days or so. As this eclipse approaches, I think it's definitely a collective energy that people are going to start learning. The only limits that you have are the limits that you give yourself. The only limits that the only ceiling you'll ever run into is the ceiling you build yourself. And so that's going to come through very heavy for you, I think. And it's going to be quick. This, like, Knight of Swords, that's air energy. That's quick. He's on a Pegasus. Those things are quick. So it's going to come in real fast. It looks like we have Aquarius and Capricorn up here. So maybe end of December, early January.
That's quick, Shelby.
Quick. Mm-hmm.
But it's not scary.
We
accept it.
Yeah, it's not scary. It's literally, so my favorite affirmation that I've been telling myself lately is, nothing bad happens to me, only opportunities. There's nothing bad in my life, only opportunities. And so anything that comes in is your opportunity to take your life to the next level. Anything that comes in, it's either your opportunity to stay where you are and have your feet planted in where you are now and your comfortability and where you're at, or you can get on the Pegasus and you can fly. That's up to you. That's your decision. Now, is it going to be scary to get off the ground and not have, like, a parachute, or, like, are you going to have to trust in things that don't seem real? Yeah, that's definitely a part of it, that belief, the belief in yourself, the belief in whatever you want to call this higher power, whatever the creator would be, whatever this energy is that we experience, whether that's even just your higher self or if you believe in something else, that you're going to have to trust in that, because they're going to take you places that you could never imagine, just through that change in perspective. And we have the 10 of Coins here, which is so good, because this means that as you follow this change in perspective, as you follow these messages that come through as you kind of put down your authority for a second and surrender to the flow of life, surrender to the unseen and to the things that are influencing your life that you can feel. 10 of Coins is ultimate financial prosperity. This is all of your material needs being taken care of, all of your financial worries fading away, all of anything that you could need in this physical life taken care of for you in a way that's going to make you feel fulfilled, in a way that's going to bring you happiness, in a way that's going to bring you a very fresh perspective, and a way that's going to really just light you up on the inside. They say the one thing that you can talk about for the next 30 years is your purpose in life. That's why I fully believe that this is what I'm supposed to do, because I could talk about it for days. You've seen me talk about it with Junior. I could go on forever and ever. So the King of Swords is actually very, very interesting because he's actually right underneath this Knight of Swords, which is, again, also air energy. Let's see. So this is definitely a lot of mental strength here. So what I'm seeing...
Oh, thank goodness. I need mental strength.
Mental strength. That's what I'm going to say, is it looks like this is going to potentially be a test of your mental strength. This is going to be... Because as you start to get rid of specific beliefs, as you start to weed out that subconscious belief garden and you decide, okay, I don't want to believe this anymore because this is screwed up. I don't want to do this. I choose to believe something else. Like for me, lately, I've always had like a massive fear of authority, like my entire life. And I've been really working through that lately. And my affirmation is like, okay, I'm not choosing to be afraid of authority. I'm choosing to embody authority. I'm choosing to be an authoritative figure in my field because authority is not a bad thing. And so every day I wake up and I choose that, but because I'm choosing that and I'm changing that, the universe or whatever you believe in, they send you tests to see if you actually have changed that belief for yourself, to see if you're actually going to stick to everything that you've learned and actually implement it in your life, because there is a very big difference between consuming information and implementing information. And so they give you kind of a test to see if you are able to implement it, to see if you actually are able to do what you say you're going to do. And so this mental strength, mental clarity, I think that's definitely coming. It looks like probably around Gemini and Taurus season, so May, June. There will be something that's going to really test how far you've come on this path, how far you have walked on this path. And a lot of people will think that these tests, these things that go wrong when I've been working so hard on this aspect of my life, these things that go wrong are just a sign that, like, I shouldn't keep doing this. I should just give up. I should not. No. You are limitless. You have to stick to that limitless belief. You have to stick to that belief that all there is are opportunities, no matter how upset the opportunities can make you feel in the moment, or how triggered they can make you feel in the moment. There's a reason they're triggering you. There's a reason that you're having resistance to what's happening in your life. And that's kind of another way that you can go into finding out those limiting beliefs, is by uncovering like why you're feeling triggered by a specific situation. So I feel like that's going to come up a lot for you. And then we also have the Two of Cups, which is Cancer. So that's July, which is, I mean, does this not look like a really happy card?
It looks like a Prince album cover.
Kind of, yeah. It actually kind of does, doesn't it? So this,
it's beautiful.
It is. It's very happy. It's a very happy card. It's partnerships and love and just like relationships, partnerships, not even like romantic relationships, but platonic relationships, connections, partnerships in work, and things like that. And so I feel like there's going to be a creative endeavor, because cups are emotions. Cups are creativity. Cups are the subconscious. Cups are all of these different types of things that just have to do with like that unseen part of your life. And I have this feeling that there's going to be a creative opportunity that comes up that will allow you to be in partnership with somebody probably like as a business partnership that's going to really allow you the freedom of expression that you crave and the complete freedom of creativity and the complete freedom of your spirit to say what you want to say to the world and get it out there and do all of these things while also still providing you the monetary gain that you need to maintain and improve the lifestyle that you're currently living. So that's probably around July when I see that coming. I want to know more about that though.
Any significance being underneath perspective?
I think it's going, so the Hanged Man, I love that. I love that you brought that up. So the Hanged Man is upside down. That's why it's a change in perspective. And so I think as this perspective changes, that's what's going to kind of like a key in a door, which is funny because I'm wearing one. A key in a door, it unlocks that lock, it turns. So as you turn your perspective, it's going to unlock this piece of your life that's going to give you that creative opportunity, that creative expression, that creative endeavor. And it could be something that you totally have like no idea what it could even possibly be at this point, because you have to go through the prerequisites first. It's something that you probably haven't even dreamed up yet. That's going to be completely life-changing. And
It's exciting.
yeah, it's really, 2022 is going to be one year that is going to be full of insane changes, because we have in February, on February 22nd, 2022, so 2/2/2/2/2, America has its very first Pluto return, which is where Pluto is back in the exact same spot as it was when America started. And to put it into perspective, Rome had 2 Pluto returns, and the second Pluto return was the fall of Rome. So essentially what it is, and Pluto's moving through Capricorn, so Pluto is kind of like that death card energy. It's that destruction, that rebirth, that chaos kind of feeling, that like destroying things that no longer serve us. It's moving through the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn represents the government structure, things like that. So that's why we're seeing so much of what's happening in our country right now, is because Pluto is moving through Capricorn. But next year, Pluto is making its full return. So essentially what it's going to do is we're either going to have a chance to break down everything that's no longer serving us and rebuild, or I don't even know what the other outcome would be, but it's gonna be all for the good. It's gonna be so many changes that we have been needing to see for the past 250 years, because that's how long it takes Pluto to make a full circle. All of those changes that we really needed to see are gonna start happening after this Pluto return. And so I'm so excited to see that. I think that's gonna unlock perspectives for a lot of people, and that's going to bring a lot of really positive changes. That's going to really put this power back into your hands, because we grew up in this society where you go to school, they don't have you capitalize on your talents. They just put you in this machine that was invented during the industrial era so that they can make good workers, and it doesn't have anything to do with you capitalizing on who you are.
At all.
Nothing. It has nothing to do with that. And so I think we're going to see a lot of people are about to realize that they have a purpose. They have a reason for being here. There is something that they are good at that lights them up inside, that is a passion that can 100% earn them money. One of my bosses, who is just very near and dear to my heart, he's one of my really good friends now, but he told me, and the only piece of professional advice I ever got from him that I completely rejected at face value was when he told me, you need to find a job that will pay enough to support your hobbies. And I said, nope, my hobbies are going to pay my bills. I will not, because I'm not going to live for the weekends, and people are going to start waking up to that. People are going to start realizing how much power they have over their everyday reality. They're going to start recognizing how much their thoughts control things, how much their, again, mindset and their perspectives control things, how much they get to decide and choose what reality they're going to live in. And that is going to change the dynamic of this country entirely. It's going to change the dynamic of the world. And hopefully we start seeing less people feeling afraid of the word witch and the terms from Eastern medicine, because these types of medicine, these types of spirituality, these concepts have been around much longer than America has ever existed. Ayurveda, it's a form of medicine. It's the most ancient form of medicine to ever exist, and is so good for your body, and they do it based on body type. And it is so healthy, so good for you, and that's an Eastern form of medicine. There's a lot of Eastern medicine that I think would be so much more beneficial than the pharmaceuticals that are pushed in Western medicine on a constant basis. I'm super into herbalism and all those types of things, so we're going to see like a massive wake up, a massive awakening and realization that there is more to life than waking up, going to work, paying your bills, losing weight, and dying.
Yeah.
There is so much more to life than that. There is so much more to experience. And I think that's what's coming for you, is this moment of mental clarity that's going to come in really quickly, and you're going to have this aha moment of like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not powerless. I'm not without control. I'm completely in control. I know what I'm doing. I have direction. I have purpose. And as you start following that direction, as you start following those little hints and those nudges and those things from your guides, that's when this creative partnership is going to come in. That's when this moment of like, I know what I'm meant to give the world, because each of us has a purpose that provides value. And the universe wants us to be compensated for the value we give into the world, which is where this 10 of coins comes into play. So,
Shelby, you're so great. You said you wanted to look more into...
I'm kind of curious about what else this 2 of Cups is talking about. See if we can get any more specifics on it.
So now do we ask another question, or you just shuffle again?
So I just asked them to talk about the 2 of Cups. So tell me about the 2 of Cups.
That one came out super aggressive.
I know. They're like...
Do you feel any energy from the tarots? Like, are you receiving any specific, like, person or figure?
So it's definitely a group. I feel like whoever is coming through the strongest is a very bold type of personality, and very funny. I get this very this bold, very humorous type of energy that just comes through. That's like, they kind of take the center stage a little bit. So I would assume in life they were very people gravitated towards them. People loved to be around them. I want to say it's a feminine energy. I don't know. Do you have a grandma?
I got a grandma that passed away. Didn't know her very much. As soon as you say these things, I instantly think about my sister.
Yep.
Who is exactly what you just said.
She came to me. So the way I'm seeing it is she is young, with her hair in a top knot bun.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's how I saw it. That's really awesome. I have goosebumps. So that's really cool.
Yep. That's Dina.
That's awesome. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I get to just do this.
Yeah.
Do this for people.
She's a beautiful human. She was a beautiful human.
She is. She still is a beautiful human.
So she's gonna slap me in the back of my head right now.
I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, she's definitely the one that's coming through the strongest. She's very much like pay attention. You need to know this. She's very, very energetic, very enthusiastic, very I'm here. You need to hear this. You need to pay attention to this. I've been trying to tell you this for so long, and you're not listening to me. That's the energy that's coming through. Okay. So we have your 7 of coins here.
Again.
So
it was 10, and now it's 7.
Yeah, it's 10. Now it's 7. So we have your 7 of coins. This represents investment and patience. So this creative opportunity, you're gonna have to build, and it's gonna have to be something where it's not going to happen overnight, as most things don't. It's not going to happen in a year. It's going to take time and care. You're really going to have to invest in this creative opportunity. And I'm also hearing you're really going to need to invest in yourself. You're going to need to take the time to truly invest in yourself to make sure that this works, because as you take care of yourself and you take care of this opportunity that's coming in, just like the tree, when it like sprouts, it's this very vulnerable, soft thing, and it takes time for it to grow into this tree, and then eventually you'll reap the benefits. You'll have the harvest of all the things that come off the tree. So it's going to take patience. This is the card of victory. This is I did it. This is I won. This is we're finally here. So as you take patience, and you notice both of these are looking at you. Yeah. So as you take patience in this creative endeavor, and as you really nurture it, you really invest in it, you really invest in yourself, you really nurture yourself, you really get into that, that's going to be a really huge moment for you to just be like, we finally made it. We finally did it. There might be some competition. And this card, which is the Seven of Wands, so lots of sevens actually. Because you have the Six of Wands, Six of Swords, Seven of Coins, Seven of Wands in this. Wow, that's a lot. But this is stand your ground. So you're going to have challenges that are going to come up. You're going to have competition that's going to come up. You're going to have people that are like, that's stupid. Why would you do that? Or what are you thinking? Like, you need to stay where you're comfortable, and that's not it. You need to stand your ground on this. Because this is what you're being guided to do. This is where you are supposed to be. This is where you're supposed to be standing. This is where you are going to fulfill your soul contract. You have a lot to bring into this world, Dre. You have a lot to tell the world. You have a huge energy to influence the world and to do so many good things in this world. And you do so many now, but you have so many more opportunities to change it in ways that you would not even understand. You would never be able to believe until you're actually in that moment realizing, oh my God, what did I just do? Who did I just influence? How did this line up? Like, you're going to be sitting in the hot seat, like, what? And that's what's coming. As long as you take that patience, you take that investment, you nurture this thing. And when people tell you you can't, you stand your ground and you tell them, I can and I will. That's what's really coming through a lot in this. Is this just huge energy of...
Gosh, that's so beautiful. I love that.
It's definitely, I mean, it's kind of heavy, but it's also a great motivation to do what you need to do. Oh, gosh. You have your Knight of Coins, okay? This is being grounded. This is practicality. This is a thirst for knowledge. And so this, I really feel like the vibe that I'm getting from this is very much like the thirst for knowledge of yourself. All of this is going to come when you come to understand yourself deeper, when you come to know who you are on a deeper level, to know what you actually want on a deeper level. As you have this thirst for knowledge about who you are, what your purpose is, what you came here to do, all of these big questions people start asking when they start waking up to the fact that reality isn't necessarily what they think it is. When they start realizing those things, it becomes a hunger. You want to know more. You have to know more. You want to dig deeper. You want to dig into those roots. Like I said earlier, the roots. You're going to dig into your roots. I think ancestry is probably going to come up pretty heavy for you as well. Family connections. I definitely feel like you'll be feeling your sister a lot more. And you'll probably be able to recognize that feeling right off the bat a lot quicker, too.
Her birthday's on the 30th.
Are you serious? I love that so much. Oh my gosh. I love that so much. That's so my heart.
I don't know what sign that is, but yeah, her birthday's on the 30th.
Of November?
Yeah.
She is I think Capricorn. No, Sagittarius. She's a Sagittarius because my parents are all Sag. Which makes sense because that's a fire sign, and she very, very much emits fire sign energy. Super enthusiastic. That's awesome. You do have a lot of fire sign energy here too as well, so that makes a lot of sense.
I've noticed I've been kind of, I think, is the Knight of Coins, is that my first Earth sign that has came up?
So you've had your Seven of Coins and the 10 of Coins.
10 of Coins.
In the earlier one.
So we're seeing Earth, Wind, Fire,
Yep. So earth, fire, air, and then you have very minimal water. So a lot of this is going to be like very actionable steps that you can take and not so much emotional steps. A lot of like actionable steps and a lot of intelligent steps because air sign is very much like learning, knowledge. All of that like wind is not tangible, it's not deep, it's there and it's experiencing, and that's kind of the energy of air. Very erratic. If you can't tell, like 4 of my 5 personal planets are air signs, so I just like I'm all over the place all the time. It's exactly I emit air sign energy, so if you ever want a good example, it's just me. It's me. But you're gonna be grounded, so you're gonna like really just root. Root is what keeps coming up. This like root. I'm so curious. So I feel like the root represents a lot of different things for you. The root of your beliefs, the root of your family tree, the root of yourself, and the root that grounds you into the earth. So maintaining grounded and practical as you build this is going to be really important as well. As an air sign, I do this thing where I'm like, have an idea and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna run with it and it's gonna be great, and then I bite off like way more than I can chew and it crashes and burns, and I've done this and experienced the same cycle a million times in my life because I get way too freaking excited for everything. So stay grounded, maintain your grounding and your practicality while you build this, and don't just get like so excited on a whim and you like plan all these things and then never do it. Like you want to take those slow and steady steps. As you take those slow and steady steps, because this is a night, and again they're pretty quick, they're fast. Time is going to collapse. It's going to seem like it's going to collapse anyways, because time is not real. Time is something that we have developed as humans, and the craziest thing to think about in the terms of time is that everything that has ever happened, everything that will ever happen, and everything that is currently happening around the entire globe is all happening at the same exact time. But our brains cannot comprehend that, so we have to view it as linear. We can only see one portion of it at a time. And as you awaken yourself more, your perspective grows. Your window of being able to see gets bigger, so it makes it look like time collapses. It speeds things up. It speeds these manifestations up simply because you can see more at the same time. So that's kind of what's going to happen, I think, for you, is you're going to stay grounded, you're going to stay practical, you're going to stay getting a good routine on things, doing the work. That is what's really coming through for me, is like doing the work. And as you do the work, you're going to be at this place of success in no time. This is interesting. So the 6 of Swords is representative of transition and of letting go. Now, what does that look like?
Looks like a person underneath another person.
So
with a light.
Kind of.
Lantern.
So what am I thinking of? It's like this part in Greek mythology, that Grim Reaper guy that like rows the boat across to the underworld. That's kind of like where I see this transition, you're moving into an entirely new state of being, and a lot of this is growth. We have a lot of earth sign energy, the tree especially. There's going to be so much growth that comes in the next year of your life, and with growth requires, because if this tree had kept all of its dead leaves from its entire life, it would not have any room to grow any more trees. It would be so weighed down, it would snap itself in half. And that's what we're trying to avoid here. So you need to let go as you transition into this new life, into this new world that is the world that you are creating for yourself, the world that you want to live in, the world that you're going to be in and leave as a legacy after your time here is done. You have to let go of the things that are no longer serving you. The angers that you might still have, the frustrations that you might still have from things that happened a long time ago that you just can't seem to shake. It's time to drop that, let that go, because that's hurting you a lot more than it's going to hurt anybody else. And you need to let go of like, I feel like there's a lot of like tension, like up in your shoulders. I don't know. I feel like you're probably carrying a lot of weight on like your back, like the weight of the world almost, it feels like. And like you might not even be completely aware of that. It might be something that, I don't know, do you get like sore up here a lot?
Sometimes I get like, I definitely get anxious, right? About things that's not even involving me. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if it's because I'm like this, I care so much about how somebody else is gonna do, right? I want somebody else to succeed so much that I take that energy.
Yeah.
And I feel that. I feel that a lot, you know? That's definitely something I'm working on too.
I think so, yeah. So, I mean, and especially being a Cancer, like, you guys are the nurturers by nature, and you guys are, like, the very, like, mother energy that, like, oh, let me fix it, let me make it better. Like, I just want to see you happy. I want to see you doing what makes you happy. So I'll hold the weight. I'll hold the tension. I'll hold the stress. And a lot of times people don't realize that these types of things, when you're holding on to emotions like that, they hold in your muscles. Your muscles will hold muscle memory like that. Your nervous system will be dysregulated because of that. And so things like that, you gotta like let it go, breathe. Protect your energy for sure is coming through. But I feel like there's just, I get this picture of like Atlas, like the weight, like he's holding the world up. And I feel like there's really something that you've been holding on to for a very, very, very long time, like decades of time, that has kind of really like you might not think about it a lot now, but I feel like, yeah, you just like you're holding on to this like weight that you've just been kind of like walking around with for forever. And
yeah, I mean, the only weight that I feel like consciously that I know for a fact I carry around is kind of like resentment of mom, right? That's definitely something that I definitely carry, but unconsciously, right? Like I'm not like every day like, oh, this chick, you know what I mean? But it is in the back of my mind, like especially around the holidays when like you see grandparents with their grandkids and it's like, oh, well, my mom lives less than 3 miles away and she doesn't make that effort. You know what I mean? So like when I'm thinking about specific weight that I've carried for, like you said, decades, a lifetime, that is the one that really resonates with me.
Well, I mean, if that's what's speaking to you, that's probably what they're bringing up specifically. Yeah, a lot of those, like healing the mother wound, because that's a big one that they talk about in spirituality. The mother wound, the father wound, there's a witch wound. There's all types of different wounds that we can acquire in our lifetimes now and past lifetimes, like who knows at this point. There's so many, and so a lot of it, our purpose, at least in my opinion, one of our biggest purposes in life is learning to heal instead of learning to destroy. And maybe that's because I'm a Gemini. I'm the duality of things. I'm also a Scorpio rising, which does represent either the wounded healer or the toxic destroyer, depending on how grounded and how centered and how whole I am. And so maybe that's why that comes up for me, but I truly believe that a big part of this world is learning how to heal yourself, and then in turn learning how to heal others in the same way. Your Chiron in your birth chart is an asteroid, which does represent the wounded healer, and your Chiron represents your deepest emotional wound, which is also your greatest opportunity to heal the world if you learn how to heal it within yourself. And so that, I have goosebumps. So I think that is kind of what this is talking about. It has something to do with your Chiron and your opportunity to heal the world. There's a weight that you're carrying that still is playing into that deepest emotional wound. And as you learn to put that down, you will unlock a way to help everybody else learn to put that down. Because our experiences are entirely unique and individual to ourselves, but they're not quite as unique as you might think that they are. And so that's that's what I'm seeing with all of that.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. How are you feeling about it?
I think my team, my sister, I think that they are telling me things that, as I mentioned to you last time we talked, was things that I don't want to say I knew, but things that I can feel.
Yep.
Right? If I keep going and keep shedding people that's not helping me grow, I will be able to grow. Right? These are things that, again, I don't want to say I knew, but things that make sense.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, at some level you did know, probably at a subconscious level, which is like, imagine this. This is my favorite thing to think about. Our brain is split into two categories. There's the conscious and the subconscious. And your conscious brain only makes 5% of your brain is conscious. The other 95% is subconscious. And your subconscious rules all of those background programs that are going, like automatic breathing and your heart beating without you having to think about it, but all of these other beliefs and things as well. Imagine how much power you would have if you were able to activate and connect more to that subconscious part of your brain. Because that's what things like meditation and intention setting and shadow work, where you're doing the emotional healing and all of those types of things, that's what it does, is it activates and it unlocks pieces of that subconscious part of your brain so that you have access to it. That 5% conscious part has control over the subconscious instead of it being the other way around like it usually is. And so that, I think, your subconscious holds so much information. And when you say you know, it's like a gut feeling. It's like you know, but you don't know.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what intuition is. That is exactly what intuition is. You feel it in your gut. If you feel it in your chest, it's anxiety. If you feel it in your gut, it's intuition. And my last thing I'm going to say to you is follow the intuition. Listen to the intuition. Build that muscle of intuition, because that is the best skill you can learn to develop in our world.
Shelby Nye, you do awesome work.
Thank you.
I think that this was a really dope reading, in line with so much. I appreciate you even just stopping by.
Yeah.
How can people render your services?
Yeah, absolutely. So like we talked about at the beginning, my website is up at shelbynyeco.com. All of my readings are available there. I have one-on-one coaching sessions that are available there. If you guys want to discuss things having to do with the amazing spiritual world, and if you guys are just interested in free content and you want to learn more, feel free to follow me on Instagram at Shelby Nye Co as well.
Your content on social media is dope.
Thank you.
It's very it's like I know exactly what she's talking about. Like I know. Just when you were talking about talking to the team and then them throwing a bunch of cards out, I was like, I know exactly what she's talking about now.
Yep.
I appreciate you. Make sure you go and follow her. Go tap in with her because she's an amazing person. Can you do you do like? Might be a silly question, but do you do pairs like a relationship kind of thing, or is it solely one person and you do them separate?
So I've done like relationship readings. That's a big one that a lot of people ask. Typically, if they're asking about the state of the relationship, then it'll just be one-on-one. And I just feel like it kind of depends on how people prefer, because some people would prefer it to be more private. Other people would prefer to do like a compatibility and have their partner in the room, and they want to know and just have the brutally honest truth like slapped on the table for both of them. So yeah, I mean, I totally can do it in pairs. It just kind of depends on what the intention of the person asking the question is.
Check her website out, shelbynyeco.com.
Mm-hmm.
What's the code stand for?
Company.
Oh, duh. I appreciate you, my friend.
I appreciate you. This has been a blast. I'm so happy I got to be here.
Yeah. U92slc.com is the website. Make sure you drop us a follow, and y'all have the day you deserve. Peace.